Andreas. First man in today, at least on the chat sheet here. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good end of morning, beginning of afternoon. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is another curve flattening concert. Hello, Anne, my dear, and Deb. And I thought it would be a good day to just do some songs that might make you smile a little bit. So, Steve Snyder, good to see you, buddy. So it's a dreary day here in southeast Pennsylvania, and we're going to try and cheer things up a little bit. And this first one is actually going out. Usually my old high school friend Burks Oakley would be here by now. He doesn't seem to be getting in today, but this is actually, there's a lot of the people I went to high school with back in Euclid, Ohio. Yes, Mike Verbick, Euclid, Ohio. Have been listening in, not a lot, not my whole class, which was 800 people, but you know, a few. And so I thought I would dedicate this first tune to them and to the rest of my aging friends. So here we go. This is written by the Berrymans, Peter and Lou Berryman, and I stole it off my friend Steve Gillette. He's a wonderful guy. There's no point in living in the past, they say, even though there is more of it every day. Now I don't talk too much about what I've been through. Then again, on second thought, I probably do. Love confused me way back when, now everything does. Swimming made me hungry then, now everything does. I remember Moonlight Bay the way that it was. Used to take my breath away, now everything does. Overwhelmed by future shock. I'm not saying I'm trying to turn back the clock. I wouldn't go back even 1 year if I could. Then again, on second thought, well, I probably would. Summers went by way too fast, now everything does. Cowboys rode out of the past, now everything does. I recall my first TV, the way that it was. The picture looked all blurry to me, now everything does. I'm not saying that anything has changed, you know. It's the same old, only more so though. And I'm not saying that I'm too old to give a damn. And again, on second thought, well, I probably am. Flashlights needed batteries, now everything does. Chow mein came from overseas, now everything does. Bowling had a special shoe, now everything does. Those things made me think of you, now everything does. Perfect, Janice. My wife just came in as I sang Most Things Made Me Think of You. Now everything does. So, I think I'm going to change the order a little bit here. I was going to do something else, but I'm going to do something else. But still the same songs. So this one. So I'm totally back in love with this little guitar that just came back from 6 months in the guitar doctor's office. And it's just kicking ass here tonally. So pretty sounding. Hey, Debbie Lipstruer, Fasalo. Nice to see you. It's a dog song. My dog is right here. Suki the dog is laying on the concrete over there. I should say this song was written, it's a parody of a song called From a Distance, which some of you may have heard. It was a big pop hit back in the day. And so the melody is actually written by a woman named Julie Gold, who wrote From a Distance. But the lyrics are written by my friend Jay Mankita, who lives up in Western Mass. And he's a cool guy who I've sat and played music with a few times, and you might want to check him out. Now we'll get to it. From a dog stance, the world's a bowl of food, and no dog is in need. From a dog stance, no dog is ever rude, just one hungry mouth to feed. From a dog stance, there is harmony, and it rests upon your plate. It's the drool of hope, it's the look of guilt. That's the stance of every dog. From a dog stance, we all have enough, so why not give dogs more? From a dog stand, dogs can't comprehend what all these cats are for. From a dog stand, we are waitresses marching to the kitchen now, bringing bowls of food, make that people food. That's the stance of every dog. Dogs are watching us, dogs are watching us, dogs are watching us from a dog stand. Dogs are watching us, dogs are watching us, dogs are watching us from a dog stance. From a dog stance, the world's a bowl of food, and no dog is in need. There are no cats, no postmen, no baths or fleas, just one hungry mouth to feed. From a dog stand, there is harmony, and it rests upon your plate. It's the drool of hope. It's the look of guilt. That's the stance of every dog. It's the drool of hope. It's the look of guilt. That's the stance of every dog. From A Dog Stance by J. Mann and Julie Gold. Although I think she'd rather it weren't so. So Melissa Collard, nice to see you here. Must be early there on the West Coast. So speaking of the West Coast, I'm going to do you an instrumental. When I first moved to San Francisco in 1973, I found out about Steve Mann, a great guitarist who was kind of missing in action, and I heard these recordings of him, and actually they put out a couple records, and on one of the records they had what turned out to be something fairly similar to his arrangement of Drowned in My Own Tears, but he just did it as an instrumental, and they called it the Gospel Tune. That's what the people who put out the record, I think it was Nick Pearls at Blue Goose who put it out. And it was mostly old tapes that people had of Steve, because he had gone off the rails and become schizophrenic and disappeared for 40 years. Years later, he came back, and I met him and became friendly with him. He was a really lovely guy. But I'm going to play you that thing that was called the Gospel Tune. I recorded it a few years ago, and I just wanted to give credit where it was due, and I called it The Gospel According to Steve Mann. And so this is some version of that. I do it occasionally. The Gospel According to Steve Mann, as best as I can produce it here. Hey, folks. Hey, Diney and Wayne, maybe. Maybe both of you. And Bruce McNeil. So, the time does fly, and we've already come to the end of today's little concert. I have one more tune for you. And hopefully these have cheered you up a little bit. I will be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. And this is my only other 12 o'clock one. Usually I do 3 p.m. and then I do a Sunday morning one at 10:30. So Saturday, I think Saturday might be my and Janice's wedding anniversary. So it may be a special tribute to my lovely wife. I'm not sure how the hell I'll do that, but I'll figure something out. There's a couple tunes that were written for her particularly, and she will blush, but she will not show up on camera if I know her well. So this is, I'll dedicate this one to her right now. So. Here we are, out of cigarettes, holding hands and yawning. See how late it gets. Two sleepy people at dawn's early light, too much in love to say goodnight. Here we are, in the cozy chair, picking at a wishbone from the Frigidaire. Two sleepy people with nothing to say, and too much in love to break away. Do you remember how we used to linger in the hall? Your father didn't like me at all. Do you remember the reason why we married in the fall? To rent this little nest and give ourselves a rest. So here we are, just about the same. Foggy little fella, drowsy little day. Two sleepy people at dawn's early light, and too much in love to say goodnight. How we used to linger in the hall. Your father didn't like me, not at all. And do you remember the reason why we married in the fall? Well, actually it was in the spring, but who's counting? To rent this little nest and give ourselves a rest. So here we are, just about the same. Foggy little fella, drowsy little dame. Two sleepy people at dawn's early light, and too much in love to say good night. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, stay sane. If you get cranky, take a nap. And I'll hope to see you all again on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Bye-bye.